The hosts feel it would be a little unkind to present this podcast without just a word of friendly warning. We are about to unfold the story of Frankenstein, a man of science who sought to create a man after his own image without reckoning upon God. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It deals with the two great mysteries of creation, life and death. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now's your chance to. Well, we've warned you.
Hello and welcome once again to the Frankencast. I'm the mad scientist Anthony Bowman. My pronouns are he, him. And I'm joined again, as always, by...
the industrial mages tower that is Eric Velasquez. My pronouns are also he, him. I got another one for you. The ivory coffin womb that is Eric Velasquez. My pronouns are also he, him. I'm back, baby.
Welcome back. And of course, we had to do this movie for your big comeback. We've been waiting for this movie so long. Obviously, you had to be here for it. We couldn't miss this chance. So I'm
Return of the Frank.
Yeah, I'm so glad it all lined up perfectly. So we can finally talk about this movie we've been waiting for years for, it feels like.
Indeed we have. I feel like since 2009, even before the podcast existed.
Yeah, I mean, Del Toro's been talking about wanting to do this for a while, and then once it even started rolling, it's been a little while. And you know what? Worth the wait.
I gotta say. Now, all right, can I hop on a soapbox real quick? I know everyone's missed this. Me and my proselytizing and everything. Universal, why'd you fuck Del Toro, man? It was good stuff. I blame you, frankly. Like, somebody in the marketing somewhere, but I'm blaming Universal. Like, because I want to, frankly. But no, like, why not advertise? This was the thing to be advertised. And it was worth it. Yeah. And it's Halloween. It was perfect. Why?
Yeah, I mean, and, like... There was a second there where it looked like it was just going to go straight to Netflix, and that would have been pretty upsetting. But then even when they were like, no, we'll put it in some theaters, it was still, like, hard to find. Not a lot of theaters around here. Very limited running. I think I mentioned somewhere that, like, I had to go to an art museum to see it, and then they eventually did play it in, like, I think one theater in town, but it was, like, 2 showings a day for, like, a week, and then it was gone. This should have been like a blockbuster. Like, this should have been huge.
It had the cast is stacked. Like, I don't think I've seen such a stacked cast.
Yeah, and like in multiple ways. You have like Oscar Isaacs, who like he's in all kinds of artsy things. He's in Coen Brothers movies. People think he's great. Mia Goth, who's like a new modern scream queen. Everybody loves her. She's, just in the X trilogy that everybody went nuts for.
Christoph Waltz.
And you have Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Christoph Waltz, who's like been in Tarantino films and is amazing. And then Jacob Elordi, who is like kind of like a teen heartthrob, and I know everyone is a little nervous about him, but he fucking brought it. He is great in this.
I will never not remember him as the guy with the exploding penis in what was that movie? The Mortuary Collection. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. And he's been in a lot of weird stuff because he was in Saltburn too, which obviously has like a lot of weird stuff in that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, just a great cast. We got
David Bradley.
Yeah, from mostly Harry Potter, Doctor Who, lots of great. Charles Dance from Game of Thrones, like, just great stuff across the board, and basically straight to Netflix.
Ralph Fiennes. Or no, I'm saying that wrong. The guy from The Witch. Or Ralph Ineson. Why did I say Ralph Fiennes? Ralph Ineson.
Yeah.
Brain fart. Sorry, apologies.
But yeah, I do think, Del Toro's Pinocchio went straight to Netflix as well, but it got a Criterion Blu-ray release afterwards, and kept kind of snowballing. I think this will do the same thing, but yeah, it's a shame that it didn't just like get like a full rollout the way that I was hoping it would. But I mean, it's I've now watched it on the big screen. I've watched it on Netflix. Like, it's great. It's great in both versions. Both ways to see it. And I think people are going to keep talking about it. The buzz is going to keep building on this. I really hope.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get this party started. Once again, we're going to be in the north. We're going to be stuck in ice. This isn't Captain Walton, though. This is somebody a little different.
Yeah, so we've got Captain Anderson here. He's a part of a Danish exploration group. We're in 1857, which is like a little off from like the timelines we usually see. I think mainly, like, Del Toro loves a war, or he hates a war, but he loves depicting the horrors of war. Whether, like, I mean, Pinocchio, he added a war into it. Like, there's just, that's what he does. And so here we're in the Crimean War. That's what we're looking at here. And it becomes an important thing.
Otherwise known as possibly First World War.
Yeah.
Really kind of the First World War in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I didn't know anything going into this, and it was like, okay, yeah, I mean, I'd seen the poster, I knew that we were gonna get into the Arctic, and it was like, okay, maybe this is gonna be one of the more faithful adaptations. And no, yeah, like it had, it certainly has the framing story, and it not only is it the framing story, but the framing story is a big part of it. It's not just like a little tacked on thing at the beginning and end. Like, we'll go back to that as we go. It is definitely using that in the same way that Mary Shelley does, but then there's some other things that he changes a lot, and
he's got to Del Toro it.
Oh yeah,
he's got to have weird mechanisms for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I mean, it all comes together. Like, everything he changed. I mean, we've watched so many adaptations, and I would get tired of it if everybody was just fighting to be the most faithful. Like, I want people to change it. I want them to tell us what they see in the story and interpret it in their way. And, I would ask for nothing less from Del Toro, and he really gives it to us.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So once again, yeah, we find this version of Frankenstein, Oscar Isaac, with his prosthetic leg and a bunch of actually unharmed dogs. Mm-hmm. Which is actually kind of rare, which is weird.
Yeah, they're all fine. There's a ton of blood, but he seems like his leg is injured and he's not in great shape, but he does not seem to be the source of all the blood.
Right. Monster roar.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like inhuman. It's like this deep. It's like, I mean, I'm sure the sound designer like mixed a few animals together or whatever. It's got that rumbling like tiger quality, but it's just big and powerful. And they see this huge silhouette up on a hill, but like vaguely man-shaped. And so but
Anderson's just like, our guns will take care of this. Let's do a firing line, boys. Mm-hmm. Go.
And yeah, they riddle the creature with bullets to no effect. And we see that this is a not to be fucked with monster. We've had, the shambling kind of awkward monsters. This is more like the book where he's powerful. He is, he's picking up guys and just throwing them like rag dolls, just chucking them around.
Grown-ass men.
Yeah. And it's such a great way to open this movie. Like, we're seeing like the strength of this monster. And yeah, he eventually he gets up onto the deck. The crew's up there. He's throwing people overboard.
Where is he? Mm-hmm. Literally screaming out, "Where is he?
Yeah,
let's get him."
And they eventually somebody's like, "Get the blunderbuss," and they bring out this big ass blunderbuss gun. And
a revolving blunderbuss? What?
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Damn you, Del Toro! I love your design.
Yeah, because this is it like 6 shots? I can't, because they shoot him.
It's 4.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like a quad-barreled shotgun is effectively what it is, but it rotates.
Yeah.
Versus firing all at once. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it probably existed maybe, but I see no purpose for it.
The purpose is basically so that they can shoot him, I think, twice to knock him off the boat, and then they
and then
scramble.
once to break the ice near him.
Yeah, they shoot the ice and he sinks down, into the water. And they're like, okay, good, that's taken care of. That's done. So we go straight to the captain's quarters where they've got Victor laid up in his bed. They've got the ship's doctor there caring for him, and Victor is delirious.
Hey, what's going to clear his mind up? Let's give him some laudanum.
Right,
that'll help.
Yeah, and he's like, how many did he kill? And the captain's like, 6, which I mean, that's a lot to kill just fucking barehanded, like no weapons. He's just breaking people in half, and Victor's like, okay, just put me back on the ice. Like, he's going to come back. He's going to kill more. Like, I'm not worth it. And the captain's like, nah, he's good. We sunk him in the ocean. He's dead. You're fine. And Victor's like, no, he'll be back. And he's like, if you don't believe me, just promise me that if he does come back, if I'm right and you're wrong, if he's back, just give me to him. Like, don't risk any more lives for me. I'm not worth it. The captain's like, okay, what manner of devil made this thing then, if you think he could live through that? And Victor's like, me. I did this.
Well, I did.
Yeah. And, so we're going to get Victor's story and I really liked, he's like, some of what I'm going to tell you is fact, some of it's not, but it's all true. Which I liked that kind of angle of like, yeah, I might have to fudge the details here, but like the spirit of the story, I'm admitting I'm an unreliable narrator, but I promise you're gonna get the gist of what I'm trying to get across here.
And it all started with mom and dad and childhood trauma.
Right. And he says like my father gave me the name Victor. It means conqueror, one who wins all. And it all started, and he's like, it started with my father, and you can hear this like disdain in his voice, and then he's like, and with my mother, and you can feel like the adoration he has for his mom. Like, This is the most mama's boy Victor we've had.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately, when did we decide that Charles Dance was the worst dad other than Game of Thrones, I guess? But
yeah, he's
such a good, terrible father.
Yeah, he's really nailed that. But yeah, so then we get a title card that's like Part 1, Victor's Tale.
Oh, but we didn't mention the first part was the prelude.
Yeah.
We technically jumped that, but it doesn't matter. That's not important.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a little bit of voiceover of like Victor telling the story that kind of comes and goes throughout the film, but like he's basically, like we find out that...
It's very interesting that all the women in his early life are veiled, especially his mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which kind of serves a couple purposes here. Like, so... in a classic sort of like James Whale sort of touch, Del Toro has Mia Goth playing both Victor's mother and also Elizabeth, which, I know Mia Goth, she's done this now with X as well.
Get out of my movie, Oedipus.
Right. I think it's certainly that. It's very much that, he is a mama's boy. And so when he later meets a woman who kind of looks like his mom and has some similar, he's immediately smitten because of this edible thing, and one of the other, I think we right away in this first scene, we'll get the first instance of it. One sort of through line we'll see in this movie that's impossible not to recognize, even if you're not a person who's like, oh, I noticed this thematic thing repeating or whatever. Milk is all over this movie. Victor is drinking milk in almost every scene of the fucking movie. And I think that that's definitely a mom thing too, But like, yeah, we'll get it right away here. He's like drinking a glass of milk as his mom comes in, and she's here to tell him that his father has arrived home and we need to go out and greet him.
Right, and he's like, oh, great, Dad's home, awesome.
Yeah, and we'll get some voiceover where like Victor will tell us that, unlike the novel where the Baron is usually like a judge or something like that, here he is a surgeon. And he travels a lot. He's a very important surgeon, and he does a lot of big work, so he's not home a lot, which Victor prefers. He likes to have his mom to himself, but every now and then Dad comes home and he rules the roost when he's there, and everybody just kind of has to like suffer under his like iron fist while he's there. So yeah, Victor's not excited for Dad to be getting home, and we see that right away. Like, I think he gets home, we see like all the servants lined up, and then we immediately cut to dinner where he's like commanding that the servants bring things. He's like demanding that his wife, like, she's like finished eating, and he's like, no, eat all that meat. Like, the blood in the meat is important. It helps with, she's pregnant, and he's like, you need those nutrients for the baby, the iron. Yeah. So yeah, he just, controls everything when he's around.
Now the question is though, is this really him being an asshole, or him like actually caring about his wife? And like, he's like, hey, you probably do need this. It's like, it's the measurement of the unreliability, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think it right away. Yeah. Like, this is the way Victor perceived this scene to play out. That we only have his version of the story here. Then we have like the next thing is like later that night, and we'll get the first instance of Victor has this huge statue of like a guardian angel that he prays in front of it. Okay, and it's in mostly big gold wings, and it's wearing like a red sort of robe tunic kind of thing, which like
Do
red.
you want religious trauma while you sleep? Because this is how you get it.
Yeah, and Del Toro really likes playing with color, and the mother is always in red as well. So I think the angel being in red is like definitely it stands in for her when she's not around, and he's like kneeling before it praying for protection. And we hear his parents fighting in the next room, arguing while he's praying. And then she kind of comes in and it seems like shaken up from the fight. And he's like, "Mama," and there's they kind of run and hug each other, and it's one of the, it's unclear who's comforting who in this moment. It seems like they both need each other. They're protecting each other from, or at least in Victor's mind, they're protecting each other from the dad.
Right.
Which takes us to the next scene where we do see how bad the Baron can be. He is, as a surgeon, he wants his son to carry on in his footsteps. He's teaching him. They're talking about the humors. They're talking about the weight of hearts and why they're different between men and women, and the capacity of blood pumping and stuff like that.
Yeah, sexual dimorphism and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Victor knows everything, and then he gets one thing wrong, and right away, the Baron's like, "All right, you got to be punished.
Got to whip you."
Yeah, you got to know all of this. People can't wait. People will die if you don't know the answer. And so Victor holds out his hands.
Yeah, he's not wrong, but also he's an asshole.
Right? Yeah. This isn't, especially with a child. This is he's doing pretty well. He's got a lot of time before he's going to be a surgeon.
Also, though, this was pretty common about that time. A lot of adults at this time would be like, "Yeah, that's pretty normal," which is terrible. But hey, humans grow and learn.
Right? Yeah.
But yes, hold out his hands. But Dad's like, "No, not your hands, baby boy, not your hands. You're gonna need the hands. Mm-hmm. I'm taking the face. That's all vanity."
Yeah, the hands are important for surgery, but the face doesn't matter. So yeah, he's got a really thin switch, and he whips him across the face with it. He's like, "You bear my name, and so you have to be perfect because you're a reflection of me."
Such a weird thing. That whole, "you're a reflection of me because you spring from my loins." Really though?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, why not?
Right. So we go from that scene to a more pleasant scene where Victor and his mother are playing cards. They're having a good time. But then all of a sudden she clutches her stomach, and she's clearly in agony. Of course, being pregnant, the complications of childbirth are definitely very prominent in a lot of Mary Shelley adaptations. And so Victor runs to get his dad. There's all kind of
she passes him childbirth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We go pretty much straight from that to the funeral, and she has her coffin is absolutely beautiful. It's it's got this open window where you can see her face, and then there's a death's head mask thing that kind of latches in place over it before they
covers it.
Yeah, and Victor's the one responsible for putting that in before they lower her in, and we hear. As the funeral, we don't get a lot of the soundtrack. It's kind of washed out, but we do hear a baby crying there. So we know the baby survived, even though the mother did not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is pretty much that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get a quick montage of Victor's we were opposites. He was light, I was dark. I think it's kind of Victor knows what he's missing. He knows the mom that is gone. William never knew her. He doesn't know what he's missing, and for some reason the father is doting on him in a way that he doesn't with Victor. So he's kind of engendering that he's
softened on Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Or William.
Yeah, but yeah, as you said, Victor starts to have this thought, maybe this is all on purpose. Maybe he was trying to separate me from Mother, the person who was soft and caring and everything, and he wanted to harden me up to be a surgeon like him. So he confronts his dad about that and says, "Did you let her die?" And he's like, "No, I did everything I could. I am, it's my duty as a surgeon and as a husband, of course, I was going to try to save my wife. I did everything possible." And Victor's like, "Oh, so you failed.
You just can't conquer death."
Yeah, and Victor's like,
you just can't conquer death. That's all.
I will conquer death. I will take everything that you know. I'll take it, and then I'll build on it. I will be better than you. I will do the things that you could never do. And that's sort of the moment where Victor becomes like Victor Frankenstein, who we know. Like, in fact, like it's pretty much, we see a brief moment of the monster bursting out of the ice in the back in the present, and so that it's like, yeah, he fucking conquered death. Don't forget it. And now we're gonna go back and see how he does it.
Well, apparently he had a vision of a like burning angel in his sleep, which is like that's not angelic imagery, my brother. I would question things.
Yeah, it's very dark. It's that statue but alive, and yeah, there's fire around it, and it's just
and with fire behind it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some would say satanic. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we pretty much go straight from that. We get.
But I do have a theory about that.
Okay. But we find out, soon after the Baron also dies, there was some like servant uprising. We just kind of gloss over some stuff. And then because both of their parents are gone, relatives are going to take over the care of Victor and William, but they get split up.
We're not talking about Dad got a similar coffin to Mom, but it was just all black.
Yeah, like Mom's is beautiful and white. Yeah, like hers is marble and pure, and his is dark and grim.
Yeah, well, she even has the red velvet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yes, but the family gets broke up.
Mm-hmm. And Victor's just like, the decades passed. I went on. I was doing my thing. I was in school, and I just lost track of William. He was just with other family, and I just didn't see him for a long time. And then we go straight to like, basically, this is Victor when he's about to be kicked out of school. We get a little title card that says, the Royal College of Medicine Disciplinary Tribunal, 1855, which if you're keeping track, the ice stuff we saw at the beginning is 1857. So we're 2 years away from like, everything.
There's a lot of stuff that happened in 2 years. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So Christoph Waltz.
Yeah. So Victor he's pleading his case, but like you can tell he's really haughty. Like he knows that he's better than everybody in here, and if they don't, like, he's gonna tell them his thing, and if they don't get it, fuck him. Like he's not gonna sugarcoat anything. He's not trying to convince them. His ideas are good enough that if people won't take them for what they're worth, then like it's not worth his time.
Now his approach is slightly different than some of the other victors we've met.
Mm-hmm. We get, so like first he's talking about life and death, and like we can't control birth, like it happens, it's God's under God. He kind of like mocks, like right away, which of course that's a pretty common refrain with our Victor Frankensteins. But then he's got like there's something on a table under a sheet, and he pulls the sheet back, and we get a really incredible and horrific thing that we have never seen before. We have like a half corpse. It's like the skull's sawed off so you can see the brain. It has one arm that has been sewn on, but it's all decayed. You can see muscle in it. And then like the spinal column is just hanging out the bottom. It's like gone from about the rib cage down. And it's dead right now, but Victor is holding this like battery thing that he like. Yeah, he like latches.
He's like, "Hey, I'm harnessing the flow of energy and chi, so we're busting out into the what is it called? Not Asian medicine, but I guess it is to a degree. With the needles and the gizmos.
Yeah. There's a little bit of like, because there's all kinds of needles plugged into it. There's like an acupuncture quality to it, but like
acupuncture, but he's using chi this time. The flow of chi in the body.
Yeah, and he's like, I know galvanism exists. We're all aware of that. This might look like galvanism for a second, but trust me, it's not, and you'll see. So he plugs in that battery. The thing comes to life, and it's like, gasping, and like it looks like a zombie. Like it looks horrifying. And everyone's
like,
up.
Hey, here's this ball.
Yeah. He's been carrying this ball the whole time. He was tossing it up in the air and saying, like, life is like this, it rises and falls back to death. We can't control it. Gravity just brings it down. And he chucks it at the creature, and the creature catches it. And he's like, so not only that made a decision. That was not, this isn't just galvanic, like, reflexes.
Right.
So not only did it make a decision, but that arm is from a different corpse than the head. So I connected those nerves. I made that brain talk to that arm. That was all me.
That pisses off the tribunal. They're like, oh hell no, only God is able to do that stuff. You're fucking with stuff now, buddy.
Yeah, they call him obscene and unholy, all that kind of stuff. And Victor's like, if God is the only one that can control that, God's inept, because I did it and I'm going to do it better than God. I'm going to get rid of death. And if you don't see that, you're a bunch of cowards. And he just like storms out.
Well, he pulls the needle as like the mic drop to kill the creature and then walks out.
Yeah. And as you kind of mentioned, within the tribunal, there's one guy up in the balcony that's watching with a lot of interest, played by Christoph Waltz. And the next thing we'll see is like Victor walking home, and when he gets to his door, there's Christoph Waltz standing there waiting for him.
Heinrich Harlander.
And he's like, this was like a common thing at the time. I've got a letter of introduction from your brother to like let you know that I'm legit. Yeah. And so Victor invites him in, and we have like this sort of lab that Victor's been doing this. And I really like, so we'll get 2 labs in this movie. We have this one that's like, Victor is a poor student. It's in like a little cottage. To me, it gave me like Hammer vibes. Like it looks like some of the Victor Frankenstein from Hammer, where he's just like, it's a wood slab in a shed. Like it's very like a carpenter's shed that he's turned into like a workspace. And Heinrich is like, William will be coming soon to catch up with you. I know you haven't seen him in a while. He wants to introduce you to his fiance, who happens to be my niece, Elizabeth. But first, I wanted to talk to you about your work. I'm interested in what you're doing. And they have an interesting sort of conversation here where like, Heinrich's like, I think you're onto something. I don't think you're there yet, but you're getting close.
Right.
But you're never going to get there if you just shove your ideas down everybody's throats. Like he calls
like
him
Prometheus. Are you going to burn your hands? Yeah. Or deliver fire to man.
Yeah. I really like that little Prometheus nod there. And Victor's
it won't be the only one he makes.
The one later is great. But he's like, I think we can work together. I think I have ideas that could be helpful to you. I'm gonna change your life. You just trust me. And Victor's like, I have had a long day. I don't really want to talk to just some guy on my doorstep. Let's do this another time. I think then we do just cut to like later. We're now at Heinrich's house,
photographing a rather voluptuous lady who's eating a peach, or not supposed to be eating a peach. That is.
Yeah. So like this, it's supposed to be that like photography is his little personal interest, and he's like, he's photographing this sort of like still life thing where he's got like a memento mori, like a table set up with like skulls and fruit and everything. With this beautiful, mostly naked woman in front of it. He's kind of like getting on her about ruining things by eating the peach. But Victor shows up and Heinrich's like, okay, so I saw you pull the plug on your creation, and it was like this, you were showing off, you were, like saying fuck you to the guys, but like, I think that thing was about to die anyway. I think you're having trouble maintaining the energy. I think, if you were able to keep something alive, I think you would have kept something alive. I think you're missing something, and I have an idea. So he reveals this like huge slab of like plywood.
Literal table.
And you've probably seen similar things to this. There's like it looks like nerves or something that are all pinned down, spread across this in the shape of a human. And he's like, there's the circulatory system, the nervous system, but there's another system that people forget about, and it does some really interesting stuff, and that's the lymphatic system. And that's what we got here. And the main thing is that it has a specific section around the heart that not only is capable of distributing energy throughout the entire body, but it can store energy. So, Yeah. He's like, the only problem is I don't know how you can get to it with...
Yeah. Victor immediately realizes, no, that's not the heart. That's in the spine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that becomes a big thing. So we will, like, right behind milk, the next biggest thematic recurring thing in this is the spine. We will get so many spines in so many interesting ways. And yeah, it starts here. And Heinrich's like, so I'm an arms dealer. I have made a lot of money, and I'm going to keep making money. You know the war is going on. I'm just raking in cash from that. And I will give you anything you want. Like, I will give you as much money as you could possibly need to do what you want to do. And Victor's like, okay, and yeah, what's the catch? Like, you need something from me, right? And he's like, let's not cheapen it with that. Maybe someday I might ask you for a little favor.
Don't pretend to be reasonable. It would be a shame for us to waste this opportunity. Mm-hmm. It's like he already has the measure of Victor. He's like, you're not that kind of guy. You don't give a shit. You're going to do it regardless.
Yeah. So Victor's like, all right, I'll consider it. And like a servant comes in and is like, they've arrived, sir. And so Victor goes into the next room to catch up with William. He hasn't seen William in decades, and also to meet, his fiancée Elizabeth. And she comes in like this beautiful bright blue dress with this like elaborate headdress that looks like it's made of like peacock feathers or something. She's striking. Like, and right. Victor right away is just like in awe. And I think part of it is
immediately it's almost like maybe they like each other already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely like we see them seeing each other in a way that like it's hard not to like see where this is going, and so like obviously this is the biggest change from the novel is that like William is close to the same age as Victor, and he's the one engaged to Elizabeth, not Victor.
Listen, I will not stand for earnest erasure still. I'm still, damn it, you're erasing Ernest. Stop it.
Yeah, he really is more, he's like a combination of Ernest and Clerval more than he's William. I think just the name William is definitely the more like prominent brother name. And of course, we know Mary had a son named William. I think that's probably the reason we wanted to keep it in here. But yeah, so I think we go right from them sort of like seeing each other to like them all eating dinner together. William is like, I've heard, tales of what you've been up to. And like, it sounds like you're really just pushing back against everything Dad taught you. And like, you're making a bad name for yourself. And Victor's like, no, I have things to back up what I'm working on, and it's going to change the world. And Elizabeth is not the like kind of like, shrinking violet that Elizabeth often is. She's like, if good ideas being shoved down people's throats that doesn't fix anything. That's not a way to, like if your ideas are valuable, you don't need to be so brash and harsh with them. They speak for themselves.
Right.
When it takes violence to get an idea across, the idea is not that good. She's like, people are fighting this war and dying and bleeding out on the battlefield. Yeah, and they're fighting for peace, and we have these corpses spread across fields all over Europe or whatever. And this is for peace? No, this is useless. This is no good. And you're doing the same thing.
Well, it's for rich old men dying in their beds. Mm-hmm. Like literally what she says.
Yeah. And this is where we, like, if you hadn't caught that Victor is often drinking milk, we get this great moment where, like, he finishes a glass and he just, like, holds it up and, like, looks over at a servant, like,
more.
Yeah, he doesn't even say anything. He just kind of, like, looks at him, and the servant comes over and, like, pours it. Like, it's like a fine wine, but it's just milk.
Right. Now, this is when Heinrich asks William, he's like, hey, let's go get a cigar and a brandy while these two go at it. Mm-hmm. Like, what is that about? Is it like, let two children bicker? Or
yeah, it seems like they're like, the decorum is we don't want to, like, witness this argument. But yeah, after they leave, like, they kind of, again, Elizabeth kind of stands her ground, and she's just like, no, I don't think your ideas are worth as much as you think if you can't get them across in a better way. And, Victor kind of tries to like...
He's like, I'm not sure if she was an angel or a devil.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, why don't you go run along with the boys? I'm done talking to you, basically. And I think that really, like, Victor is struck by that like, oh, okay, she's my equal. Like, she's not gonna just like take what I'm saying.
Or she might be a bit motherly, some would say.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Back on the ship, the captain is called away because some of the men saw the creature circling off in the distance. And they're like, we need to abandon that man, leave him out there for the monster. And the captain's like, no, he's under my protection and the protection of the crown. What I say goes.
I'm going to learn from him as much as this guy as I can.
Yeah. So we go back to the past where Heinrich is taking Victor to his new workshop, which, as you mentioned earlier, is this insane mage's tower just jutting up out of like a barren landscape. It's beautiful
but it's also industrial and
yeah, it's a mixture of like gothic and futuristic, and it's great. It's so Del Toro, and like as we'll see, basically Heinrich gives him the tour of it, but there's like so many great touches in here. We have this big, huge window up at the top that is, I think, an exact copy of the window from Crimson Peak, which is a nice little touch. There's also a
okay, we also have the Medusa head.
Yes.
You can't tell me this guy didn't play fucking Castlevania. Because I swear to God, that is literally a boss fight in Castlevania. Right there.
Yeah, it's so good. And obviously, Medusa is like one of our earliest representations of monstrousness. And, is like a mother of monsters. And is also
victim.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very misunderstood monster, and is very. Her whole thing is about her appearance and the way she's viewed, and her reflection is a big part of her story. So that's always comes up in our Frankenstein stuff, and we'll get some of that later. But yeah.
Also, can you tell me why there's this giant fucking hole in the middle of the upper floor?
Yeah.
Why?
They describe it as like it has chutes where you can like get rid of things. But yeah, the central hole just seems like a death trap. It is not good. And certainly it is.
Well,
we'll find out later.
Yeah.
But so Heinrich's like, so this place is yours. And whatever you need to outfit it, whatever gear, whatever equipment, I have your brother on retainer. He is my man. Like I'm paying him. Whatever you need, you tell him. He'll make it happen. And Victor's like, all right, well, yeah, we're going to need, he's like pointing around, like we're going to need transformers over here. We're going to need this. We're going to need that. And Heinrich's like, it sounds like we have a deal. You're already planning. Do we have a deal? And Victor, they shake hands, and Heinrich's like, all right.
Majesty materials.
Yep, a bargain has been struck. It's go time. We kind of go into a little bit of a montage here. We have like, we get this great bit that's like nodding to like the Burke and Hare stuff, where like Victor goes to a public hanging, and he's inspecting these guys before they are hanged, just like checking them out. And he's like, "Ah, man, no, you're not in good shape. You're lucky you're being hanged. You were gonna die soon anyway." Yeah, but then he's like, "This guy, he's got good bones. I want this one." Like, what a crazy thing to say to a living human. Like, I'm gonna take your corpse here in a minute.
Well, also not for long. It's like, oh, I'm gonna die and be used in some fucking medical experiment. Great. Mm-hmm. Or if they're not altruistic and like, hey, for science and all that good stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. And then he sees, like, after he finishes, like, making his order, he sees Elizabeth off in the distance. She's, like, shopping in a little, like, outdoor market. And he kind of, like, starts following her stealthily and sees her go into a church. And he follows her into the church, and then he's like, this is my chance. I'm going to learn some stuff about her. I'm going to learn some secrets. So he sneaks into a confession booth.
Right. But what would such an angel have to confess about? That's beyond me.
Yeah, and it's really great. She's like, it's been 1 week since my last confession and all this. And she's like, I've sinned. It's a sin of thought, though, not deed. I've had some sinful thoughts about my fiance's brother.
Of lust?
And she's like, no, hatred. And Victor's like, wait, hatred? What
do you hate him for?
Yeah. And she just starts listing, like, he's this arrogant, he thinks he knows everything and he doesn't. And also, he's not as sneaky as he thinks he is. And we see that she knew it was him.
He's really easy to spot on the street.
Yeah, she's just been fucking with him.
They have a cute little scene where she just waves at him through the confessional.
Yeah, it's really cute. And we cut straight from that to them having lunch together. Like, so there is some, like, playful banter with them. And, again, as far as spine motifs go, take a look at this dress. It has like a corset lacing going down the back, and it just looks like a spinal cord. It's beautiful. It's just like meticulous detail. And there she has like some books wrapped up in brown paper, and he's like, "Oh, what books you pick up? Some romance, I'm sure." And she's like, "No, like is that you think I'm just like another
etymology?"
Like, yeah, she unwraps them, and yeah, they're these books full of like drawings like of insects and everything, and she's fascinated by like the beauty of insects, how small and perfect they are. And he's impressed.
And this strikes a chord with him. He's like, "Let's dance."
Mm-hmm. And she's like, is that appropriate? And he's like, what's appropriate? Who cares? So they dance, which kind of like leans more into like the montage. Like, as he says something about like, this is the first time I was a little more focused on life than death. But then we see, but he's still got to focus on death. He's got a, corpse flayed open back at the tower, with its spine exposed.
Well, it's in like a submissive pose as well, like a bondage pose almost.
Yeah, it's not laying on a slab like we usually see. Yeah, it's very strange, but he can like really get to the spinal cord really well. Right.
But we also learn what he's been doing with William, and that's keeping him busy buying stuff for him, so he stays away from Victor and Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like...
That's dirty.
He orders these like lightning rods, and he's like, "Are these 100% silver?" And they're like, "No, it's an alloy, but it's mostly silver." And he's like, No. Gotta be 100%. That's all. Yeah. So he's like, "Go do it again." And William, you gotta stay with them, because they're just... I need you on top of this, because they're not doing their job right. And we get this scene where like she's like got like a little like recital where she's like playing the piano or something. And then Victor and Heinrich sort of have this like confrontation in a bathroom, which I'm starting to think is
pissing in French porcelain.
Is this a Del Toro thing? I was thinking about like the there's like the really famous bathroom scene from Shape of Water, right? Where like we have the villain in that being a weirdo about the bathroom, and we have it again with Waltz here, where he's like to the point that like...
Will someone intimidate Guillermo del Toro in the bathroom? It's like, "I will piss. You will talk with me while I piss." Yeah,
and in this one, like he like leaves and tells Victor to flush for him or something. Like it's very bizarre, because like in Shape of Water, it's this whole thing where he's like, "I wash my hands before I pee." It's a weakness of character to wash after. It's a whole big weird thing. But Heinrich here is like, the clock's ticking, man. Like you've had a lot of time, and Victor's like, "I thought you said I had."
We have a big battle coming up in a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna have an unlimited supply of corpses in 1 week, and you gotta be ready by then, because then the purse strings are getting tied up. Like I'm tired of waiting." Cut back to Victor working in the lab again. And Elizabeth comes in, and I think this again we see that like Elizabeth is different. She sees that flayed open corpse in the weird submissive pose, and she's like, "Oh wow, look at I see what you're doing here. This is impressive." Like she's not horrified or disgusted at Victor's work. And she specifically brought a butterfly to show him, and she like gets like teary-eyed talking about how beautiful butterflies are, and she's like, I think she says like they have 4 hearts and 12 eyes, or like the white blood. Everything about them is strange, but they can't make choices. Choice is a gift of the soul. It's the one thing that God gave just to us.
But she's not afforded that.
Yeah, she basically, she's like, "Victor, I know what you want, and maybe I want it, maybe I don't, but I can't. I've made my choice, and I'm sticking with my choice." Basically, like, I'm sticking with William. I can't do what you want. And she runs out. Then we just see like later Victor in the bath, and he suddenly has like his like eureka moment. He realizes the thing that he's been missing, the thing that will fix everything. And it's so important that he jumps up out of the bath and runs into the lab naked and just starts doing naked science. You
gotta love naked science.
Yeah. And it's something as simple as like, oh, okay, the body is not perfectly symmetrical. This needle needs to be here instead. And he moves it, and right away that Yeah, this corpse that like it's been folded over, so we've not really seen its face. It's just been like it's open back, and it sits up. It has no jaw. It's horrific. It's disgusting, and it's like gasping for air. And he's like, "Yes, this is it." So we're ready. It's time, which is like it's perfect. It's like that battle's coming, and so of course we cut to Victor shopping, just walking around a battlefield, and he's like, all right, it's cold, so we don't want any bodies on the top, because those are going to be frozen. Bodies on the bottom are going to be rotted too much, so we're wanting those...
Somewhere in the middle, because everything else was rotten.
Yeah, and the whole time, Heinrich is just, like, sitting on a cart, smoking, just casual. This felt very, like, Pretorius to me. Like, I'm not disgusted by death. Death doesn't matter to me. And he's like, what are we looking for here? Should we just like direct the guys to a specific kind of thing? And Victor's like, yeah, I'm looking for tall guys. I want big body parts. It'll make it easier. Which, that's straight out of the novel. But this war thing, I really like this. I saw a little clip with Del Toro talking about this, and he's like, we always see the monster. He's made up of a bunch of parts. But why? If Victor can find one or two good corpses, he should only need a couple stitches. Like, okay, this corpse is missing an arm. We put a new arm on it. Good to go, right? But if we're gonna have this visually interesting monster covered in stitches, why? And he's like, a battlefield. We're using bits and pieces here. We don't have whole corpses here. And so this justifies it, and it also shows like the horrors of war. Like this isn't a guy, who dies in a car wreck and only has like trauma to the heart or whatever. Like these guys are, just bits. Like they are no longer people.
They're the component parts for sure.
Yeah. Which takes us to Victor's lab, where we see he's working, and the lab is full of parts. This is, maybe the goriest creature creation scene I think we've ever seen. There's just blood everywhere, just like puddles of it on the floor. We see Victor
He's
sawing,
fitting bone inside of skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like sawing open a knee and like yanking out a bone and like shoving his hand up in there.
Completely deboning a person. Wow.
Mm-hmm. We do get a thing that we see a scene where he's like working on a hand, and he's got like the tendons hanging out of the back, and he's like pulling on them.
Works him like a...
Yeah, and the fingers move. And, when I just... Hallie, who has, dissected a human in med school, was like, oh yeah, we did that. You could totally do that. It's real. And I was like, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, real science in there for you. And we also do see one thing that I really liked that we'll kind of get later. The face, there's like one of the eyes has been sort of obliterated, and they put a new eye in the socket, and then add flesh around it or whatever. And in the novel, like they described it, not all some of these parts came from slaughterhouses. Some were animals. It's not all people. And later we will get a couple things where I think that eyeball is from an animal. We'll get like it reflecting weird in the light, the way like your dog does, when you like. See them in the darker, and you're just like, whoa, like it's just like a creepiness. And so I think that it's just a nice little animalistic touch there.
Not only that, but like he does remember you were talking about the spine and skeleton? Mm-hmm. He has like, the creature now has like a spine skeleton exoskeleton around him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this big metal like rib cage with like this glowing green battery on the front of it that's all like snapped in. Like it's time. And I really, we always get our it's alive. We get like, now I know what it feels like to be God, those kind of things. But this, once he snaps that in place and everything's done, he has a Bible quote that's a lot more subtle but really powerful, in that he just says, "It is finished," which is like
right. And immediately Storm comes in.
Yeah, so he doesn't even need to say he knows what it feels like to be God. He's just saying the things that God says. And yeah, it immediately storms erupt. Then to kind of really emphasize that, he flips a switch. The slab starts raising.
T-poses.
Yeah, it not only just stands up vertically, but yeah, the arms come out. And I mean, you just have the creature there, Christ-like, crucified in the air. Victor runs out to go tell Heinrich it's time, and when he does, Heinrich is like,
"Oh, give me my cane! Don't look at me though. Give me my cane, but don't look at me."
Yeah, he's behind like a dressing screen, And Victor's like, wait, you're not well. What's going on? And Heinrich's like, okay, so yeah,
Mercury.
Yeah, it's time. I'm calling in my favor. And
Right.
Victor's like, oh, you have syphilis. You are dying. And he's like...
And it's like, I like his quote, one night with Venus and a lifetime with Mercury.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And so, yeah, his whole thing is basically the Igor from Ghost of Frankenstein, where he's just like, I want my brain put in this creature's body. I want a perfect immortal body. My body is decaying from this disease that's eating me alive.
Victor's like, absolutely not. You're infected, buddy. You're donezo.
Yeah, your brain is bad too. I'm not wasting my great creation on your brain that is going to just melt away in this body. And they keep arguing about it. Like Heinrich follows them into the next room, and like he's threatening that like if you won't do this, like I'm gonna ruin things. He picks up one of the like lightning rod things and he's just gonna throw it down that giant chute in the middle of the room.
Victor's like, dude, you're just wasting money. Like, I'm not gonna do what you want.
And this is where we get the other sort of Prometheus reference I think you were kind of hinting at earlier.
Yes. Yes, I will be the eagle or buzzard that picks at your liver.
Yeah. And, Victor tries to, like, pull the thing away from him, and in the process, Heinrich and the case with the lightning rod fall down the hole.
Victor does try to save him, but his sleeves rip.
Yeah. So he runs down, and the lightning rod thing has, like, it's like a 3-pronged thing, and one prong is a little bent.
But it's mostly usable. Mostly.
Yeah, but Heinrich is just straight up dead. Like the back of his head
brain is
fully
bashed.
caved in. Yeah. So Victor, he doesn't have time. He's just it's time. The storm is going. So he's running around. He installs that lightning rod. I think he climbs up on the roof and puts the thing. Like he's just connecting all the bits. When the lightning strikes, we have electricity shooting everywhere. We do see some of it kind of arcing away on that bent one, but like a lot of it's going into the creature. So. Well, it's unclear.
It gives a reason why it doesn't wake up immediately.
Yeah. Of course, Victor goes over. He pulls the steel ribcage thing off, listens. There's nothing, and he's angry. It didn't work. And so he runs to his room, collapses in the bed, and he looks over, and he's got that guardian angel statue from his childhood in his room here. He has moved it all, throughout his life, kept this thing with him, and he looks up at it, this is the thing that he swears he had this vision that told him he could be better than his father, and he says, you lied to me.
Right, and he hears it called Victor.
Yeah.
Well, he also hears it say Victor. Victor!
And when he wakes up, he's like laying there in bed. Oh, and I didn't mention, he's wearing, like when he's working on the creature, he's wearing these like red leather gloves, and they are like his mother was wearing these at the beginning of the film. He's wearing his mom's gloves. And I think it's like he's giving life now. He's becoming a mother, so he should wear mom gloves. It's just like which I think is kind of further this Oedipal thing that like he loves his mom so much he's going to become his mom and fall in love with his mom. Like it's just it's a tangled mess.
There's a lot of things. Therapy should have been a thing back then, but it wasn't.
But the reason that he woke up is because the creature is standing over him, which, we obviously we see this a lot where this happens, but unlike in a lot of cases, he's not immediately disgusted. He's not immediately filled with regret. He's a little scared because this is a giant looming thing, but he's cautious. He's like moving slowly and the creature's sort of mimicking his movements. And he's like, oh, okay, all right, and he's
really excited.
He's there's something here. So I think we just see he's like led the creature down into these like sort of catacombs. This below the tower. Oh no! First, like while they're up there, he pulls a drape back and like the light comes in. And
it scares the creature. But he's like, no, sunlight's good. It's great. And they both like embrace in the light together.
Yeah. Which felt like, obviously a moment that I feel like I talk about a lot is the moment when Karloff's creature sees sunlight for the first time and sees it's beautiful and, there's that kind of childlike wonder. But this is kind of, it's different in that, like, it's so new that it's a little scary. But then when Victor's like, no, it's not scary, then he's like, oh, wow, it is beautiful then. This is powerful and majestic and I, if it's not dangerous, then it's incredible. And yeah, Victor touches his own chest and says Victor, and the creature does the same, touches himself and says Victor. And Victor is like, yeah, of course you are. I think meaning like you're the winner, you're the conqueror, you have conquered death, you are the victor in that way. So I thought that, that was kind of like this, we always talk about the monster getting called Frankenstein, but we don't get it called Victor very often.
Victor.
But then that's when we have Victor take the monster down into the catacombs, and he's showing him, there are like little gutters that like let water run out of the building out through this, and he like shows him water and tries to he's like, say water, say, and the creature's not saying anything. Like, he's just saying Victor.
Right. But also the creature tries to touch the flames that are on the braziers or the sconces, and he's like, no, that'll burn you. Don't do that. Almost avoiding him from the Karloff's monster's fear of fire.
Yeah. So Victor does end up, he sits him down on there's like this kind of like concrete slab crypt kind of thing, and he like chains him. He puts like, irons on his wrists and feet, and the creature seems kind of confused. But this is like, I like that this Victor, it's not like an automatic flip where he's like the good, that he's just suddenly bad. Like, I think here he can't watch the creature all the time, and he's trying to protect him because he doesn't know anything. He could be a danger to himself. Yeah. But he keeps telling him, I'll be back, don't worry about it. Yeah, but he is still chaining up basically a child, which is not the best thing. So it's a gray area. Like, Victor moves through the morally gray to like the less, gray. And I think, so then we have like, I think we go back to the present at that point, and Victor's like, yeah, once I had the creature alive, I kind of ran out I didn't know what to do. I hadn't thought that far ahead. I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants at that point. Right. But he notices Anderson's like, oh yeah, what'd you do next? Like, what's going on? How did you do that? He's like, nah, I see that look in your eyes. That's me reflected back. We share a madness now. I really like that line. I understand this. Yeah. And so then we go back to Victor continuing to be patient and good with his monster. He's helping him shave, and he's like sitting in front of a mirror, which, of course there was going to be a scene with a mirror. And the monster looks at himself in the mirror, and then we see that this is all taking place right next to that giant Medusa thing on the wall. So the monster sees his own monstrous image, and then looks up and is like, oh, that's me. I'm that. Like, oh, is that me too? I'm a monster. Yeah. Victor steps away while the monster's kind of having this realization, and he just reaches down and picks up. Right. Don't step away from your kids with razors. Yeah. Yeah, he picks up the straight razor by the blade and is just squeezing it, and blood's running out of his hand, and Victor's freaking out, and he's trying to get him to drop it. And the monster eventually does, and touches Victor with his bloody hand, and Victor snaps in the way that like, he's like, don't you touch me. Don't ever touch me. And it was like, whoa, that was like, right. Sometimes as a parent, you might snap a little bit, but this is a little beyond that, Did you catch the next thing he said after that? While he was cleaning up the monster. He says, I didn't do this, you did. He said, I didn't do this, you did this. Yeah, I'm not going to take... Right, it's like, oh, that's abusive behavior. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Yeah, like... Let's not do that. Yeah, of course. Like, if you're around children, they're going to hurt themselves, but you can't blame a child for hurting themselves. They don't know. It's not their fault. And maybe it's not your fault, too. You can't watch a kid all the time. Like, I've definitely been, like, babysitting a kid and watched them fall off a couch as I'm, like, running towards them, and it's just, you can't, But if it's not my fault... But literally taking the blame off of you partially... And just draping it around the child is not great. Yeah. But then we see he's like, trying to bandage the hand up, and then he sees that it's already healed. The monster has like fantastic healing abilities here. Well, he says they're a little bit like they're uncontrolled, exactly. Like sometimes it's not healing well, but sometimes it's healing really fast. Yeah, like he still has some of the wounds on his body from his creation that haven't fully healed, and yet this hand injury heals right away. So it's unpredictable. Yeah. And then we see that while that's going on, we see that William and Elizabeth, they've received a letter, and now they're in a carriage, and they're on their way to see Victor. And I think Victor takes the creature back down into the catacombs, chains him back up, and this is where he starts to really kind of snap. He's like, say anything.
Say something.
Yeah, say water. Say, here's a boot. Can you say boot? Like, what? Say anything. And, the creature just keeps...
Victor.
Yeah. And then Victor hears a sound upstairs, and it just kind of like leaves him there chained up, runs up to find that, William and Elizabeth are there. Right away, Victor, like, it's like a switch is flipped, and he's like, he just wants to talk about... He's like, come on, I got to show you what I've been doing. You won't believe... It's wild. This is...
But not to William. Specifically to Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's interesting, yeah, because it is to Elizabeth, but then Elizabeth just kind of starts, she doesn't keep up. Like, Victor's trying to drag them both along, and she just kind of stays where she is, so Victor kind of loses track.
Hey, where's my uncle?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm pivoting now.
Oh, he's away on business, he'll be back soon. And he's like, come with me, I want to show you my notes. And so he takes William up to the study, and Elizabeth doesn't follow. And she's just standing there in the entryway, and she hears a voice say, Victor.
Victor.
So
maybe that's her uncle.
Yeah, so she follows that down and finds the creature. And once again, Elizabeth is not afraid at all. Like, right away, she sees the beauty in the creature and is like curious, and she like comes to him, and she sees all of the scars and the stitching and everything, and like feels pity for this hurt person. Like, she doesn't know his story yet.
Who hurt you? She says.
Yeah, and I did really like she to kind of continue all of this biblical imagery. She removes her gloves, and he has one specific wound in his side that is like right where the wound in Christ's...
Like a spear. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she like puts her hand in it in the way that like Thomas does in the Bible when like, Jesus returns. And then we just cut to like upstairs where she like storms back upstairs and is like, upset. Yeah, what did you do this to this? Who is that man? What happened to him? And Victor's like, oh, nothing happened. I made him. Like, I didn't hurt him. I helped him. I gave him life. And he takes William and Elizabeth down, and she's like, if you're helping this man, why is he chained up? And Victor
could hurt himself.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time we hear Victor. He said it's for its safety, and like, specifically uses it instead of he. And Elizabeth,
and she's like, or he's like, it's easier to clean, it's easier to take care of it. And she's like, is it intelligent? Does it know it's being held down here?
Yeah, we get this sort of conversation between the three of them where William keeps being like, how did you, what did you do? How did you do this? What is this? And Elizabeth is like, this man is suffering. Like, why are you not concerned with how he feels? So they're very different angles. And in fact, we cut to like that night where William and Victor are still just talking about the science. Like they've gone back to the study. Elizabeth's in bed, but she gets up and she wanders back down to the catacombs and checks in on the creature again. And we see this kind of beautiful, like we just cut to him before she arrives, and he's found some leaves. We've got, these little gutters running out of the building, and he just drops a leaf in and watches it float away. And then he drops another one in, and it feels very much like, Karloff with the flowers and the little girl by the lake in the first, in the 31 film. But then in sort of like a reversal, she comes in and he hands her a leaf instead of the little girl handing the monster a flower.
Right.
But she keeps it. She like puts it away. And she's like, oh, this is for me. It's beautiful. Thank you. And I think because, she's fascinated with like the beauty of insects and the tiny little things, she probably does also see the beauty in this leaf. He says Victor again, and she's like, what? Elizabeth. She puts her hand to her chest and says Elizabeth.
Right. He's like, oh, Elizabeth. Okay. I got that.
Yeah. Then, Elizabeth's like, okay, I'm going to go back to bed. So she leaves and finds Victor in the entryway. And he's like, you need to leave it alone. Stay away from it. It's dangerous.
She's like, it's a man, damn it.
Yeah. And he's like, no, he has no intelligence. Something's wrong. Something's blocked somewhere in his brain or something. And she's like, are you admitting failure? I didn't think the Victor Frankenstein was capable.
And he's like, no, it's an evil thing. And she's like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's more simpler. Maybe it's more, pure. Purer than the modern man.
Yeah.
And more uncomplicated.
Yeah. He starts trying to talk to her about how his love for her again. He wants to talk about how, the feelings in his heart. And she's like, the heart is the organ
this is not a thing.
You know the least about the heart of all the organs. And so she goes to bed, and Victor is furious. So he storms back down to the where the monster's chained up, and starts demanding, say something, to show me your leg. I want to show you your body, and explain. And the monster doesn't know what's happening, and he pulls out a rod, and he starts beating the monster.
And whips it.
Yeah, just like his dad beat him. It's that cycle of child abuse. It's.
Well, the creature's not handling that. He's like, I'm going to take that from you. I'm going to bend it, and you better get the hell away from me right now.
Yeah, he's just yelling, Victor, Victor. And he bends the rod, throws it. He starts pulling at his chains and stuff. Victor, runs upstairs, and then he bumps into William, and he's like, I got you away from Elizabeth. There's something else I need to show you. So he takes him to another room or another storage area somewhere, and we have the corpse of Heinrich there. And he just...
Yeah, this is when Victor becomes the shittiest he could be. Just absolute shit show.
Yep, he's just like, the creature did this. He's a danger. And William's like, well, what do we do?
You gotta keep Elizabeth away from
He's
him.
like, why don't you make up an excuse, get Elizabeth back to Vienna, and I'll deal with it here. And William's like, but how long do you think that the creature's gonna live? What's its lifespan? And Victor...
Very shortly.
Yeah.
Not very long at all now.
Yeah. And so, sure enough, the second they get in the carriage and leave, Victor just starts pouring gasoline everywhere. He's just
milk cans full of gasoline.
Yeah.
Which, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. And we see that, in the carriage, Elizabeth's like, turn around. I have a bad feeling. I think Victor's going to hurt him. And William's like, no, we got to go back to Vienna. And she's like, you can go to Vienna, but I'm going back. I'm going to jump out of the carriage, or you're going to take me back, whichever you want.
And I'm running back. Right. And then cut to Victor, all right, buddy, you got one chance. Say fucking literally anything other than Victor, and that might save your life. And the creature says, Elizabeth? Well, he says Victor, then Elizabeth? And he's like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, that's maybe the one thing that would be even worse than Victor. He just starts setting fire to everything, and he we just see him walking out of the tower. And as he's got a little bit of distance away, he hears the monster screaming Victor in pain and agony.
Victor!
And he breaks a little bit, and he's like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I it deserves better from me. So maybe
I should go back and try to save him.
Yeah, but right as he gets to the door, there's a huge explosion. He's thrown back. His leg is horrifically mangled in the explosion, which explains his prosthetic leg from the beginning of the film. I think then we have William and Elizabeth pulling up in the carriage right at that same time to see all these explosions, and then the screen just goes black, and we have a voiceover where Victor's like, but that wasn't the end.
Victor! Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So we're back at...
Anderson goes to the door.
Yeah.
Cut to...
Yep, he opens the door thinking it's the crew again. He's like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And no, it's the creature just looming there in the doorway. And he pulls up his hand.
I heard you tell your story. Now it's my time to tell my tale. Or tell my own tale.
So part 2, the creature's tale.
Hell yeah.
So it picks up right where we left off. He chained up as the building burns. He realizes he's alone. His creator has abandoned him.
Fucking eloquent in everything he's saying here at this point. I'm hooked by the creature. I was on to Oscar Isaac's performance, but Jacob Elordi, all right, man, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So he breaks free of his chains. He flees out of that trash chute, falls into some kind of river or something.
He basically Neo's it out of the Matrix.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And he just falls unconscious, and then we just have him waking up a little later. And it's kind of strange. He's not really on the shore. He's just kind of there must have been some kind of really high tide, because there's not water near him now. There's just some puddles around. He's just there. And he gets up and he starts wandering around, and we see all kinds of bones and corpse parts So it's clear that this is like Victor's garbage chute has like, washed everything to here.
So can we? Here's kind of my theory. Like, I think, all right, because the creature then walks up literally to a deer, a creature that is afraid of humans by nature and skittish, literally feeding it berries.
Yeah.
This is very Adam in the Garden of Eden.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So here's my theory. I think that, like, God actually helped create this creature, and, like, this was supposed to be the new man to replace us.
Yeah,
in a way. Or at least,
this creature is pure in a way that people are not.
Right. So in a way, it's supposed to be our replacement, and Victor effectively fucked that up. That's his original sin. In a way. Well, his other sin.
Yeah.
Whatever that would be. But because humans are going to human.
Yeah, we see, the deer gets shot like while he's
in the head.
Yeah, and then immediately the humans start shooting at the creature, which like they're kind of far away from him. He mostly just looks like a tall man.
It's still human shaped.
Yeah, but they're like, what is that? And it's just like, it seemed weird but maybe, that's sort of to try to point out that there's something uncanny here that even from a distance people can tell this is not a man, it's something else.
Right.
So the creature flees into the woods. I can't remember if it's right before the deer or here after, but he finds on one of the corpses, he finds this big trench coat.
Oh, it was right before it.
And he puts it on
in the pile of bodies.
And the really cool thing is, like, to continue with the spinal motif, this coat is like partially decayed into the corpse it was attached to. So there's like embossed into the back of it is this dead person's spine, kind of like sticking out, just into the fabric. Like, there's not actual bones there, but it just looks, you just see that spine as he's moving around. But yeah, as he flees from the hunters, he kind of flees from the rain, and he ends up in a little shed next to a house. Obviously this is a pretty familiar territory for us. Here we again, beyond the deer, also this little shed is full of rats, and they are not scared of him, and he is not scared of them. They crawl all over him. I mean, it's like,
yeah, they're more curious. Yeah,
I think you're right. Like that he's something different. He's different than men. It almost like the like sort of funny way, like he definitely like has like a little bit of like Disney princess energy, like they're just like they're crawling all over him, like caring for him, like so of course he lays there, he kind of like warms up, dries off, and then we have a family arrive pulling into the house attached to this shed. Including the hunters that were just shooting at him, and they're describing this thing that they saw.
And the blind old grandpa, played by David Bradley, is like, whatever, buddies. All right, go on. Go do what you gotta do. Yeah.
So we have, like, we've got a couple family members, that's like, the blind man, it seems like two men and a daughter, and then like a granddaughter. I don't know that the other adults get named, but the granddaughter is Anne Marie. This section is more faithful than a lot of the parts. Like, he starts caring for them as he's learning from them, teaching the little girl. It's a little girl instead of Safi, but like other than that, it's a similar thing where like she's learning to read, right. He's listening and also learning, and he wants to help them.
By the way, Anna Maria?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah. I thought that's probably a little intentional thing. And yeah, he starts.
But she has a better end because it doesn't, from what we see.
Yeah, true. So we'll get like him caring for them in the night, doing stuff around the outside of the house, and they start calling him the spirit of the forest, and all that feels very much like the novel.
But Grandpa's he's really like, the spirit of the forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's I really liked this portrayal, and it's interesting because I feel like this David Bradley mostly is known for playing like grouchy old men. He's Filch from Harry Potter. He's the when they did stuff in Doctor Who where they needed like the first Doctor, but William Hartnell was dead, they had him take over, and he's like the grouchy, angry old Doctor. He has a grouchy face to him, but like no, he's very kind and sweet. And he does it well. Like, it's really, really great. I appreciated this, like, playing against type thing with him.
He's also Walder Frey.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Yeah, so he is just always a bad dude. But yeah, the farm is like overtaken by like a pack of wolves that sort of like they have sheep and it's like killing sheep and everything. Of course, the creature can't help because he's got to hide. So like the sons or whatever, they're shooting the wolves and they kind of run them off. But they're like, we got to go out into the woods and like hunt these wolves down. They're gonna keep coming back. So the two like adult men are like, that's what we're gonna do, and the adult woman and Anne Marie, you should go elsewhere to be safe, and Dad, you should probably go too. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here in my shed, or my like cottage. So we have the perfect setup. Everybody else is gone. The blind man's by himself. Now we have time for the creature to interact with the blind man.
Yeah, well, he even says, I get to spend time with the spirit of the forest now.
Mm-hmm. We get this really great quote from the creature there where he says, after the attack, he says, an idea occurred to me. The hunter did not hate the wolf, and the wolf did not hate the sheep, but violence felt inevitable between them. It's just the way of the world. Everything has to hunt and kill you for who you are. So, definitely, like, he's coming to terms with his monstrousness.
Wolves gotta eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as soon as everybody leaves, the creature comes in, and like this scene with the blind man is right up there with like Bride of Frankenstein for like just beautifully well done. This blind man pretty much right away figures out that this is the spirit of the forest, and he's like, "Thank you. You've been a friend to my family, and I want to be a friend to you." And the monster's like, "Friend? Like this is a word that I don't hear often,
Yeah.
So yeah, they spend time together. They read together. The monster reads the Bible. Reads. They hint at like I think some of the other books from Shelley's, not like the Plutarch's. The one about the rise and fall.
Literally, I am Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they read Paradise Lost. All of it, and they start talking about memory. The blind man, which I thought this was an interesting little thing that they just kind of threw in and didn't just kind of left it at that. He says like, I killed a man years ago, and I live with that every day. I am always trying to atone for that. I'll never forget it. It's it's burned into my memory. And
so it's good you can't remember anything like that.
Yeah, and the creature's like, but I want to atone if I have sinned, but I can't because I don't know what they are. He's like, well, do you remember anything? And the monster's like, yeah, I remember their parts, these bodies. Yeah, a little. I remember one single word, Victor, and we don't get get into an explanation of how this happens, but like we pretty much cut to him going to the tower. Like, I don't know if that led them down a path where they figured out Victor had rented this place or whatever. But he goes to the ruins of the tower, which is now, completely destroyed. It's, it's no longer a tower. It's full of snow because it's been snowing. And he finds journals and notes and stuff and figures out, oh, I'm not a man. I'm made of parts. I'm a monster. And he finds a letter to Victor containing Victor Frankenstein and the address, so he knows how to find Victor now.
So yeah, I'm gonna go find him now, and then immediately hunters bust in, or no, not hunters. Apologies. After he comes back, wolves have gotten into the house,
and we get another great like fight scene where we just see how powerful this creature is. He's just ripping wolves in half, basically. He just wrecks them. But also again, I think that Del Toro manages to do something that I don't know that anybody else has done, where this creature is capable of great violence, but not of hatred. Like he has every bit of violence we've seen him commit so far has been in self-defense. He is, and with these wolves, he kills a couple, and once they're scared and they start running, he doesn't chase after them. He doesn't want to kill these wolves. He wants them to go away, and when they do, right, that's fine. So he is incredibly powerful and can be incredibly violent, but he's not. He's more sympathetic in that
he knows when to stop.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and that will continue in some interesting ways as we go. So he goes to the blind man who is dying, and he says, I found out who I am. I am the child of a charnel house. I'm a wreckage assembled from the discarded dead. I'm a monster. And the blind man says, no, you're a good man. You've been a friend to me. And again, the monster's like, friend. Like, it's like he's shocked that he could still be called a friend after what he's just learned.
Right.
As this was playing out, I was like, oh man, Del Toro figured out a way to like take the blind man away from him and have this sad moment, but not have the monster have to like feel cast aside and monstrous. And then I was like,
hatred towards him.
But then nope, that's when the rest of the family shows up. They find the monster cradling this dead man and assume he's responsible. They start shooting.
He's killed our dad.
Yeah. But again,
one dude walks up and just stabs him with a knife, a Bowie knife.
Yeah, stabs him, and the creature grabs the guy by his jaw and rips his jaw off, and then just fucking walks out of the cabin. The rest of the guys are still shooting at him, but he's just like, again, self-defense, but like I'm not here to hurt people, so he just strolls out. But they chase after him and they shoot him to the point that he does seem to die. He falls over in the snow, and they just leave him. And
right.
We have another really great quote from the monster where he says, there was silence again, and then merciless life. The opposite of what, like not that death is merciless, but that life is. Life will not let go of him.
So he kicks back up and is like, well, I got one place to go.
Yeah. If I can't die, then I need to find a way to live more happily. I need to find my creator, and I need to have him create a companion for me. And
then immediately we cut to Victor having a nightmare of his angel, who is no longer humanoid, but looks more like the specter of death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very monstrous. He's being woken up by William, who's like, come on, it's time to go. And we, like, William's dressed up. It's wedding day. William and Elizabeth are to be married. He's like, don't worry, I've been talking to some people at the party. All the mess with like the explosion, nobody's going to ask you anything about that. You're not like, basically we're rich enough that you are not in trouble.
Right. Also, I got you this really sweet prosthetic because you need to be standing beside me at the altar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So William goes downstairs. He's greeting guests at the party. He's throwing flower petals, but Victor goes to talk to Elizabeth, and he's like, I know it's bad luck, and she's like, not for you. You're not the groom. It doesn't matter.
Right. You got to get out of here.
Yeah, and Victor's like, I just wanted to apologize. I feel like I've got a newfound clarity, and I want nothing but happiness for you and my brother. I'm not gonna pursue you anymore. And she's like, you believe the things you're saying, but they're not true. You don't actually care about me. You want what you want, and this is your new way of getting it. And so she slaps him and is like, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
And
no.
I did really like, so she's in a room getting ready, and she's got a vanity mirror that she's looking at. There's also this huge wardrobe with this massive mirror. And then when Victor leaves and goes into his room, there's another very similar one. And to me, they looked very much like the big mirror in Thomas Edison's Frankenstein, where that's the one where he like, phases in and out, where it's like he's the monster and then he's Victor, back and forth and everything. It felt similar enough that I think it was an on purpose thing from Del Toro.
But when Victor leaves, he's like, all right, you're in the shadows, buddy. Come on out. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, we see Victor talking to the monster. We see meanwhile, Elizabeth has pulled a leaf out of her vanity and is looking at it. So
she's into monsters.
Mm-hmm. and her wedding dress is straight up the bride's dress from Bride of Frankenstein. She's got the bandaged arms, like the long white gown. But yeah, Victor is like, they have the conversation about the companion thing, and Victor's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make another monster. And the monster kind of continues. He's like, but I can't live alone anymore, and I can't die, so I need something. And yeah, Victor's like, no, you're a monster, you're deformed, you're obscene, and I'm not going to make another one of those. The monster, this is, but in the novel and a lot of adaptations, this happens before Victor and Elizabeth's wedding. And he's like, if you don't do it, I'll be with you on your wedding night. But we're already on the wedding night, and it ain't Victor's. So Victor's just like, or the monster's just like, okay, if you're not going to do it, fuck you. And he just starts throwing Victor around the room. He's got this beautiful 4-poster bed. He just chucks him through the posts, and the bed collapses.
And he screams out, his line is great. The miracle isn't that I could talk, it's that you actually would listen.
Yeah. And so, I mean, this is probably the most just like blatantly violent moment from the monster where he's just mad. He's alone and angry about it. But Elizabeth hears the commotion because she's in like the next room. So she runs in, and I think almost every person you could think of would come into this and be like, oh no, chaos, wreckage, like bad things are happening. But she's like, oh, it's you. I missed you. I didn't think you were still,
Right.
she's
really happy that's him.
Yeah. And yeah.
Hey, how are you? She brushes her hair over her ear.
Yeah.
Long time no see.
So she runs over to the creature, and while this is going on, Victor, uses that chance to like grab a pistol off the ground, and he's like, Elizabeth, get away from him, and goes to shoot, and like she's not even out of he just fires. Like this scene, like I watched it a couple of times earlier to kind of, it's like one of those like Greedo shot first kind of things. I think he may have just been like, if Elizabeth's not going to move, she deserves to die. Like if she's choosing him over me, if I can't have her, nobody can, kind of thing. So Victor kills Elizabeth. 100%. In this. It is
like that was just him trying to, he is trying to cover his own ass by saying, Elizabeth, watch out, I'm shoot you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the monster in this is innocent of Elizabeth's death. That's new. That I don't know that we've ever seen that. And then a bunch of the other partygoers rush in. There's another kind of chaotic scene where the monster is defending himself, throwing people around. One of the people is William, who gets thrown into a wall.
Especially William.
Yeah. But really, he's just trying to get over to Elizabeth.
That's a kill shot.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just trying to get to Elizabeth. He gets to her. She's bleeding. And she says, take me with you. So he picks her up in that classic, like, bridal threshold pose, and just walks out of the party. And nobody stops him. Like, at this point, everybody's like, she's dead, and we can't hurt him. Just fucking let him go. So as he's leaving, Victor goes over to William. And William is like, I fear you. I think you're the real monster in all this. And then he dies.
I always have, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Well, he literally says, you're the monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are the monster.
Yeah. I really loved that. Like, it was a really great touch. So.
But also this calls into fact everything about his dad, too, to a degree. Because, like, William's dad, William was more arguably like his dad than he was like his mother, because he never knew his mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe Frank or Victor was always a monster, kind of, to a degree.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So. Yeah. But anyway, he grabs that gun and he's going monster hunting.
Yeah. So we get like back and forth where we have the monster has gotten to like an ice cave. We have the ice cave scene in the novel, but this one's very different because it's with the monster and Elizabeth. Where I feel like this Elizabeth, often Elizabeth is really kind of like a cardboard cutout of a person. She's very not fleshed out in most versions of Frankenstein. I think Del Toro leaned into Mary Shelley is responsible for all this. I think this Elizabeth is our Mary Shelley. Like, to the point that like she says, I never belonged in this world. I longed for something that I couldn't name. I didn't know why I didn't fit until I found you. And I feel like I was lost. And then when I found you, I found love. And then when I lost you again, I didn't think I had nothing left to live for. But I'm glad in these last moments I'm with you, basically.
So Guillermo del Toro's monster romance cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So she dies there with him sitting beside her, and then that's when Victor finds the cave, and he bursts in with the rifle, finds Elizabeth dead, and then the monster kind of comes up out of the shadows, and he's like, you made me into a monster and treated me this way, and now I'm gonna make you like me, and he crushes Victor's nose just to like. I thought this might have been like a kind of an echo of the father beating Victor and being like, your face is vanity. It doesn't. And so he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna take your vanity away. I'm gonna make you less human like me.
Right. You may have been my creator, but from this day forward, I am your master. Come on. How badass is that?
Yeah. So he just kind of casts Victor to the side and just walks out of the cave into the snow. And then we're at that point, like kind of like rushing headlong into the end of the novel, and where this starts kind of like more closely following it. We have, Victor following the monster ever northward. We get one last, like Victor being this like obsessed with milk. He goes to this little outpost and he buys ammunition, dynamite, and cans of condensed milk.
Condensed milk.
Yeah.
Ugh. Dude, you're not making a cake. No, stop it.
Yeah. And then we have like that night, Victor's in his tent and he hears his sled dogs barking, and he gets the gun out because he knows what's coming, and he sees the silhouette of the monster and he just fires through the tent, but the monster just like reaches through, grabs him.
Shoots the damn hand apart.
Yeah. We saw earlier briefly that the monster was like missing. He just had bones for a couple of his fingers, and this is why. But then, by the time we see the monster a little later, it's healed up, again, with his super healing.
Yeah, he's healed.
But yeah, so the monster just drags Victor into the snow, and again, as you mentioned earlier, he does not harm the dogs because he doesn't want to hurt anything. So yeah, he pulls Victor away, and Victor gets a stick of dynamite out of his coat, and he's like, "Oh," the creature's like, "Oh, you think this will kill me?" He's like, "I dare you. Let's see. Let's do it. I would love to die. So yeah, light it up. Let's try it, bud." And
right. Let's find out. But if I survive, you better run.
Because I'm gonna keep coming after you. And so yeah, Victor lights the dynamite, and the creature just holds it to his chest, and he's like, "All right, you better run. This is, And so yeah, Victor takes off running. The dynamite explodes, and I mean the creature doesn't even fall over. Like he's just standing there. Like his coat's on fire, but he is unfazed.
Right. Like I appreciate the gesture, but at least blow his arm off, Del Toro. Come on. Like, half of his body should have been missing from that.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be pretty mangled and then kind of healing. We do see, like, one of the eye socket around the eye that was added, that got blown away. And, we see it, like, healing back, like, pretty much right away. So that takes us, like, we're back.
By the way, did you catch that he held the dynamite like a votive candle? Like he was praying for death?
Oh, yeah. That's a really nice little touch.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it was intentional. I feel like it was, though.
Yeah, I think you're right. That seems, especially for like Del Toro, he's got a lot of Catholic stuff going on. That
Yep.
So now we're back to the boat. We've gotten the full story, and the captain's like, "So the blood?" And he was like, "Yeah." Or the monster's like, "Yeah, it was mine. I will bleed. I will ache. I will suffer. It's never going to end. I just won't die." And this is the thing that really sets this movie apart as its own unique thing. We've had a lot of movies where the monster gets a romance. That's not entirely new. Variations of that. And we've had lots of versions where Victor dies and the monster just, gets lost in darkness and distance as the novel ends. But here we have a chance for the creation to reconcile with his creator, father and son to come together
on his deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Victor apologizes. He says, "I'm filled with remorse and regret for what I've done." The creature's like, "Well, the tide that brought me here is going to take you away and leave me stranded on the shore."
Now, I like how Victor, I think this is the only Victor that's ever said this. He says, "I acknowledge you as my son."
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. Beyond that, he says, "If death's not to be, like, then my son, while you're alive, what recourse do you have but to live? You should go out. You should live." And then to kind of like, we had the thing earlier where Victor was so frustrated that the monster would only say his name. And right here at the end, he says, "Will you say my name one last time? My father gave me that name, and it meant nothing to me. But I saw there was a time when it meant the world to you, and I want you to give it to me and make it mean something for me one last time. And the monster,
he does.
Yeah, he says, Victor, I forgive you. And then Victor fades away into death. Like that's, and
But now he says we could both be human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just it's so beautiful. So yeah, the creature kisses him on the head and says, "Yeah, rest now." And so then we cut to like out on the deck. The captain's door flies open. The captain walks out and he's like, "Let him go," to the men, and they kind of just part ways. And the monster just walks out onto the deck, climbs down the ladder, and then as he's getting ready to just walk off, he grabs the hull of the boat and shoves and just fucking breaks the ice and frees the boat from the ice, frees this crew that has been trapped this whole time. Which felt
something
like
they couldn't have done themselves at all.
Yeah, but I feel like it was like they couldn't free themselves until the captain could free himself from the notion that he had to keep going north. As soon as Victor's story got through to him,
exactly.
And he realized that's the moment when the creature is able to free him, and the captain says, "We're headed home, boys."
Exactly. Right. Everyone's like, "Ah, about damn time."
Yeah, and then we get the last scene with the creature. Instead of walking off into darkness and distance, he's walking into the sunset. The sun is on his face, and
it comes into the light.
Mm-hmm. We see tears streaming down his face as he's walking into the light. So it's the opposite of the novel there, and then we get something that seems a little wild, but fits. We have a quote at the very end, and it's from Lord Byron of all people. But the quote is
Byron?
Perfect. And thus the heart will break, yet brokenly live on.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we have this story. Well, like the story is just beginning for the monster. We don't know what comes next, but he's out there. He's going to live because his father told him to.
Exactly. And that's, probably the best ending we've had, at least in terms of the monster. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, you don't expect Victor to make it out because Victor's going to Victor.
Yeah. I think he's forgiven at the end. He is absolved of his sin, but at the end of the day, he still has to pay the price. He still has to die.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, 100%. Just a beautiful ending for the creature. Which that was the only thing I knew for sure we would get out of this, is that the creature would have some sort of beautiful redemption at the end. That's what Del Toro was going to give us.
He loves his monsters. They're the heroes in most of his stories. So
absolutely.
Fair enough. I blame you, Catholic guilt. It's all you.
All right. Well, I think that's all I've got to say about that one. I think, I could talk about it forever, but I think we've covered it here. I guess I should say this isn't the end of me talking about this. Obviously, we're really glad that Eric is back. But we have a little bit of a sort of announcement about how things are gonna be going in the near future, at least for the show, which is that we're going to kind of be alternating. It may not be every other week exactly, but Eric and Hayden are going to be sharing the co-host duties. Maybe sometimes we might be lucky and get both you guys on at the same time. We'll have to see, but we'll be bouncing back and forth and kind of continuing on as we've done. But I'm really glad that we're going to get you back, because it's not been the same without you. But I'm glad we were able to find a way that I think hopefully this will work for all of our schedules, and we'll be able to keep talking about Frankenstein for many more years to come.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons why I've been gone, aside from work and such, is because I have been working on a project that I've been telling Anthony about and just not stopping and shutting up. However, I'm going to keep it a little secret till we get it further down the line. Just know that I'm working on something. It's going to come out. Check me out on the socials if you could find me.
Yeah, and as more news comes, we will definitely be keeping people in the loop about that, because you've got a couple things going, and they're all really exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing the final products of all those.
Yep, burning candle at both ends. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's, you gotta stay busy.
All the ends, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about the next one coming?
Yeah, so next week is because we're doing this every other thing, I thought it'd be kind of fun to welcome Eric back with the new Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, and then also welcome Hayden on a more official capacity, also with the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein. So join me next week with Hayden, where we're going to keep talking about this movie. I mean, if there's any movie that deserves 2 whole episodes, it's this movie. We've been waiting for it for so long. Let's really dig into it. So, so join us for that, and then the week after we'll be kind of back to our regularly scheduled program. Then we'll have Eric on with something else. We're gonna have to talk about how the schedules are all going to play out, but so you should be hearing more from Eric, and getting back into the swing of things.
Absolutely. All right, should we say it? Can I say it one more time?
Absolutely.
And to be continued.
I've missed that.
Looks like you survived another episode. The Frankencast is a production of FCR Media. It's hosted by Anthony Bowman and Eric Velasquez. Follow us on Twitter at The Frankencast, or send us a letter at thefrankencast@gmail.com. Our cover art is by Amanda Keller. You can find her at Keller Illustrations on Instagram. Our theme music is by Vivek Abhishek. Thanks for listening.
You just can't conquer death.
I will conquer death. I will take everything that I'll take it, and then I'll build on it. I will be better than you. I will do the things that you could never do.